Hi, this is Manny, Classic Auto Repair. Gonna go over the bottom of the 56 F100. I just got back from a road test this morning. Drives really good, brakes are great, air conditioning works good, power steering, engine temperatures, oil pressure, everything's looking good for the most part on the truck. Really just a few isolated little things. This is the first time we've had it movable and up on the lift so that we could check out the bottom of the truck. And I went and put some gas in it, and like I said, went and road tested it. It drives, like I said, really nice and smooth. Don't really feel any issues. There is a vibration in it, and that was the front exhaust right here at the frame. It was hitting. This was all the way against there. I put a pry bar up in here and pushed it away. I don't know if it's going to stay. It may need some exhaust work to put some hangers possibly that keep the pipes pulled in one direction. That's if you were going to be driving the vehicle a lot. I'll leave that up to you on that decision, but we won't be able to do that here. That would need to go to an exhaust shop. We have one in Louisville that we use, and we can refer you to that. Got some leaking pan gasket here. We can try to torque this down a little bit, but the chances of stopping the leaks are pretty low. These things, when they set, as long as they do, they tend to leak at the gasket. I don't see anything coming out of the vacuum modulator. We don't have a speedometer. When I road tested, there's no speed. And it does have the cable plugged in. This is the cable for the speedometer. So either the gear inside of here is stripped or broken, or the cable itself is broken, or something in the speedo head. So there's about 3 different points. Just let me know. I'll bring it up in our next discussion to see if you want to investigate. Again, I know we got to keep an eye on the budget on the truck and where you want to expense things out, but I just wanted to bring these things to your attention after the road test and after getting underneath the truck. The other parts of the exhaust look good. It sounds good going down the road. Brakes, like I said, are working great now that we have fixed and made the repairs to all the brake system. Moving up to the front here, a couple of things that I noticed was right here, the cooling lines on the radiator. You can see a little bit of transmission fluid. This is the cooling line here and here. Possibly the hose clamps are leaking. We may want to put double hose clamps here. A little bit of drip here. So again, right here at this hose clamp, maybe recommend putting a double stack on that and tighten those up. That's a really inexpensive fix, so I'll probably go ahead and get that knocked out for you. Bottom of the suspension doesn't look like it's been lubricated in a very long time. It looks pretty dry, so I would recommend getting the grease zerks cleaned, and then put some grease inside of all these joints. There's several of them on this front suspension, and that'll just improve the quality of the components, keep them going for a long time, and avoid any rattles or squeaks that might be occurring going down the road. Brakes are looking good. The front new calipers, no leaks, no signs of problems. And again, they're stopping really well. So those calipers fixed that issue that we had when we were seeing the leaks up there. I also have a puddle of antifreeze, and that's coming from the radiator cap. It's coming out of the overflow tube, which I added right here. This is your overflow tube so that it doesn't just spray radiator fluid all over your engine compartment. Drops it down here. But when I got back, I had a steady stream, and that's probably the faulty radiator cap. I'm going to do a pressure test on it, and if it doesn't hold 16 pounds, I'll go ahead and put a new cap on that. That, again, is another inexpensive fix. But it did run cool. This is a very cool morning, one of the few that we had here this summer. And I went out and cruised in it with the air conditioning on, and like I said, it drove down the road really nice. This is the new power steering box. No leaks on it. Again, working the way that it should. We got new fluid up in there, flushed out the old fluid in the power steering pump. Oil pan looks good and dry. Front end of the motor looks good and dry. Don't see any problems with the timing seal, any gaskets leaking on the valve covers. That's all been fixed up. So you're looking good there. Condition of the spark plugs, you may want to consider putting a new set of spark plugs on it. It would make it, it would tune it basically, making sure you're getting the hottest fire. These spark plugs look like they've been on there for a while. But again, not something critical, something that the next owner can take care of. It does run good and it drives down the road good. So I think those two things are what you are really after there. Start's really good. Starter's working the way that it should. And of course, that's a new starter on there. Got a small drip coming from the rear of the motor. Could be the rear main seal or the bottom of the oil pan. I can't really tell you which it is. More likely than not, it's the rear main seal. And that's a cost prohibitive repair for most people because you got to pull the motor or the transmission or both. And a lot of labor is involved. So we normally don't even recommend that particular repair. And again, it's a very small leak, if any. I don't see hardly any oil on the torque converter or the flex plate. Nothing showing there, just a small little drip right here, and that could be remnants from the valve covers that were leaking earlier. Going in the back of the motor on the top side, I don't see any issues up there. So looking pretty good there. So the bottom, that's kind of where we're looking at. Main thing is the speedometer not working. That's an obvious thing when you're driving on the road that you don't have any speed. So I need to know whether you want me to investigate that, see if I can come up with a solution for it. It's again, you go in different motor. Again, I'm not sure on stock and originality here, but again, it could be just something as simple as a gear inside of here, or it could be something more complex. Drive shaft looks good. U-joints look good. Got a small rear end leak here on the seal. I would probably say it's right here on this main housing connection. Again, something that we wouldn't want to repair ourselves. Probably got to get it over. We do have a rear end specialist, but again, something that probably isn't necessary to get the vehicle sold. Just need to clean it up and make sure that there's always fluid in there. You can see the new brake cylinders from the backside here. They're nice and shiny, and that shows that they have been replaced back there on the back. Don't see any fuel leaks. I went around and traced the fuel lines to the fuel pump right here. All the connections look good. I don't see any causes of concern. Everything looks good that I can see. The ground straps look good. The power cables from the battery look like they've been run correctly, not interfering with anything that might cause a problem for you down the road. I believe that was the main items that I saw on my inspection list on the truck. The door handles, again, are still continuing to be problematic on the inside door handles. They're so heavy, and when the door gets pulled or gets slammed shut, that weight just pulls those little Allen sets right off. So probably need to come up with a different solution on it. Maybe a lighter door handle with the correct spring clip on it will retain it a little bit better. I'll check and see if I can research anything for a solution quickly that we can add to it. If not, I know guys that will, they'll glue them on there, but I wouldn't do that because you need to be able to access the inside of the door panels and, for glass, door runs, locks, things like that. And once you get those things on there, you can't get them off. So again, for us, I would maybe look for a different solution. Maybe one, you can sometimes tap the latch within the center hole and put a screw in it, a machine hole screw with a different kind of handle on there. But I'll look at it again, see if there's anything, but I've already torqued those Allens down about as tight as I can. It's just the way that they work and the heaviness of those inside handles. They really weigh a lot. They're made out of brass, and just with the slamming of the door, it's causing a problem there. So that's pretty much what I've seen looking and doing my inspection on the bottom of the truck. I'm going to go ahead and fix a few of the items that I mentioned, and then I'll touch base with you on the other items, and then we can discuss how you want to approach that. This is Manny with Classic Auto Repair. Thanks for watching.